about how to conduct your research for English. So the first thing that you're going to do is go to Mackinvia. So this is a quick reminder, as I'm sure you've all used it before. At Mackinvia, you do need to make sure that you go ahead and type in our school and choose the one in Frisco, Texas, as there are several Centennial high schools, and if you don't choose the right one, it will not allow you to log in. Then you're going to type in your ID number and then your usual password. Once you're logged into Mackinvia, there are several databases that will assist you with this English assignment. First, I'm going to narrow down what I get back by clicking on Databases in the left-hand navigation bar. From there, the databases are listed alphabetically. I'm going to scroll through these and tell you about a couple of them that are going to be especially helpful. So for this assignment, you are choosing a current event to write a persuasive essay. With that in mind, Gale Academic OneFile is going to be our most robust database where you'll get the most information. It can be a little bit overwhelming, so you are going to have to use an advanced search when using Gale Academic OneFile because there is just so many results that are going to come back when you conduct your search. Another helpful database for this particular assignment is the Gale eBooks. The eBooks are all nonfiction, and again, it is a Gale product, so there will be some overlap between the Academic OneFile results and the Gale ebook results. So you can't use them as separate sources if it's the same exact article, but there will be some stuff in ebooks that isn't in OneFile and vice versa. Another helpful one is this Gale in Context Global Issues. Obviously, since you are doing a current event, global issues are going to be at the forefront of what comes back. So I highly suggest you use that database as well. That one also has the added benefit of some different types of results that you're going to see, such as charts and graphs and maps. Depending on the current event you choose, you may want to use the Gale in Context Environmental Studies or GREENER database. That would be great for anything having to do with global warming, climate change, deforestation, things of that nature. I'm going to go ahead and click Load More, and you're going to see some more helpful databases. So I'm going to scroll down. Gale OneFile News is also going to be extremely helpful for this particular type of research because it is a current event that you're choosing, so it's going to be in the news. That'll give you up-to-date information. The items published in that Gale OneFile News are sometimes only 24 hours old, so it's very up-to-date. The next one that might be helpful, depending on the topic you choose, would be the Gale Health and Wellness Resource Center. For that one, if you are choosing to do any sort of research over a medical, something in the medical field, something having to do with worldwide health, that would be a great database for you to find some information. Scrolling down, you can see Gale Opposing Viewpoints. Regardless of the topic you choose, Gale Opposing Viewpoints is going to be one of your best sources of information, as it's going to provide the pro and con sides of whatever argument it is you are researching. So it's a great place to find refutations, which are the opposite point of view of what you're trying to present, as you will have to present both sides and you're going to have to refute what the other side has as their primary arguments. So Gale Opposing Viewpoints is going to provide that dual-sided point of view, which is really important for this type of paper. Scrolling down, you can see Modern Genocide is another database. So if you are choosing to research something in that area, that would be a great source for you to use. That's an ABC Clio or history database, and it's going to have informational articles over different genocides that are currently taking place or that have took place recently. Procon.org is another great universal resource that you can use. Just like the Opposing Viewpoints in Gale, it's going to provide both the pro and the con for whatever topic it is that you're choosing. So you're going to be able to get information on both sides of the aisle on that. Again, super important with this type of paper that you have research on both points of view. So I highly suggest you start with one of those two. The other great thing about those two particular resources is that if you go to them, it gives you suggestions too. So if you are struggling with what topic to choose, I suggest going to Opposing Viewpoints or Procon. So as you can see here, I went to Procon and it gives me topics to choose from. So if you're struggling with what exactly you would like to research, go here, take a look, see what's speaking to you? What do you think would be interesting for you to research? And you can look at those different categories there. So it's a great first stop for research, regardless of whether you have the topic in mind or you need help picking a topic. All right, so I'm going to remind you of a couple quick things within the databases now. So I'm going to go back to my GEL database that I told you about at first, which is my GEL Academic One file. That, like I said, is our most robust database, so it has the most results. And I had mentioned you're going to have to do an advanced search for that to get the most out of it. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to go to GEL Academic One file and click Open Now so that the resource opens. Once it's opened, the default is the basic search. Again, you want to do an advanced search. So if you look under that omnibar, you'll see Advanced Search. So I'm going to click Advanced Search. And now I can really narrow down what I'm looking for. So let's say my current event is climate change. So I'm going to type in climate change as one of my keywords. You can see you can choose just keyword, or you can choose something like you have to have climate change in the title or whatnot. I want to keep it broad for right now, so I'm going to keep keyword. You have your Boolean operators on this screen as well, and or not. So just as a refresher, and is going to narrow your search, meaning that whatever keyword you type next has to appear within the article alongside the first keyword that you used. So that's going to give you less articles since they both have to be present. Not is also going to narrow your search. So let's say you keep looking up climate change and the only information you're getting is about El Nino, and you don't want any information on that anymore. You can do not El Nino, and then it'll only pull up articles on climate change that don't mention that phenomenon. So again, that narrows your search. Or is going to broaden your search. If you do climate change or, and then you choose another term, it will look for either climate change or the second term. So like global warming, for example. So that means it's going to broaden it because you'll have some articles with just climate change, some articles with just global warming, and maybe even some articles that have both. So you're going to get more results that way. So I'm going to go ahead and keep and for right now, and I'm going to add climate change and deforestation and see what pops up. Alright, so now when I scroll down, you do want to keep this full text documents clicked. If you don't keep that checked, you're going to receive back abstracts, which are just summaries of articles, and you're not going to be able to read the full article, which would be frustrating and time consuming because then you have to try to find, let's say you find one that you're really interested in, but it's only the abstract. You're now going to have to spend time trying to find that full article. So go ahead and keep that checked. Peer-reviewed journals means that there are experts in that particular field that have looked over the articles that you're looking at. For this particular assignment, it is not required. If you're looking for something, though, where you want statistics and a study that was done, you would want to go ahead and check that. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. On publication date, right now it says all dates. Keep in mind you are researching current events. That means these things might be rapidly changing and have changed over the last 2 years pretty significantly. So you don't want information that's maybe 20 years old about this topic. I'm going to leave all dates for now, but I am going to narrow it down in a little bit if I get too many results. Again, we want current information, so that date is going to be something you can play with to get the most current information possible. Below there, you can see that there's also document types. This is the only other thing I would go ahead and check. So for this assignment, you do need scholarly information. So you may want to go ahead and check that you want an article. So I'm going to click that one. You might also want to check news. So I'm going to scroll down and find that. You can see that there's a lot of options here that you could be choosing, right? If you click too many items, you're going to end up with no results. So it's a little bit of a game of narrowing it down, but not narrowing it down so much that you're not going to get any results at all. All right. So there we go. I've gone ahead and clicked the ones, there we go, report would also be a good one, the ones that are going to help me get the information I need. Now I'm going to go ahead and click search. I'm not going to fill anything else out in the other fields because, again, I'm going to get 0 results if I keep going. After that search, you can see that I have 553 academic journal articles, 135 magazines, 11 books, and 1,908 news articles. So I've still got a pretty big spectrum of things that I could look through and get information from. So now I'm going to go ahead and play around with the date because I have some room here to really narrow this down. So I'm going to go over on the right here where you can see filter your results and click publication date. And I'm going to go ahead and choose that this article that I want happened within the last 2 years. So I'm going to do February 2021, and then you actually have to click on it. Sorry about that. February 2021. There we go. And then today, which is the 22nd. And then I'm going to go to today's date, the 22nd in 2023. So now it's going to be just within the last 2 years, and I'm going to click apply. Now that I've done that, you can see I went from 553 academic journals to 85 academic journals, and I had over 1,000 news articles, and now I have 512. So that has narrowed it down significantly for me. Now this is a little bit more manageable. You can look at the titles and see which ones you're interested in. This one right here, droughts and deforestation, that seems like it would be on the topic I'm looking for. So I'm going to click that title, and now it's pulled up the article for me that I can look through and read. Just as a reminder, because I know this isn't your first time using databases, you do want to go ahead and save the article if you feel like you're going to use it. If you just save the URL at the top of the web page at this point, when you go and access this at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. in the morning when you do your homework, because I know you guys, it is not going to log you back in. It's going to ask for a username and password. Well, we are now in the GEL database as opposed to McInVIA. So if when it asks you for your username and password, you're not going to know it because it's specific to this database. All you know is your username and password to McInVIA. So that's going to be frustrating. And you're going to email me at 1 a.m. and I'm going to be asleep. And so your homework is not going to get done. Again, frustrating. So listen to me really carefully because this is super important. Instead of saving that URL, you're going to go to send to and email it to yourself. Or you could go ahead and print it if you like to do things on paper and you have access to a printer. Or you can click download and it will download it as a PDF and you can upload it to your drive. Or save all of those steps and click this Drive button right here and it will send it straight to your Google Drive. I do recommend you have Google Drive open when you do this just to make sure it works because technology can glitch sometimes. And so you can go ahead and change the name of the file if you need to. Maybe it's named something that you're not going to remember, or you need to put it into your folder for the research for this particular assignment. That's why it's really good if you have Google Drive open already because you can go ahead and file it right away. That way you don't forget about it and it gets lost in the abyss of your Google Drive. Okay, the other thing I want you to do right away if you decide that you're going to use an article is click this Cite button. It's going to pull up the MLA citation that you can simply copy and paste onto a document where you're collecting those citations. Super easy, 1 second click. But if you navigate away from this article and try to find it later, you're now going to waste time trying to find it again just to cite it. So do the 1 second click, go ahead and copy that URL or that citation. That way you don't have to re-find this later. Again, there is a Google Drive option for the citation where it will send it to your drive, but I do want you to have that Google Drive open so you can file whatever it is that you're doing right away because you don't want to forget what that was for and have it as an unnamed document. If you have any questions throughout the research process, you can always find me, Dr. Turner, in the library. I don't leave, I kind of live here, so if you need to see me, stop by anytime and I'll be happy to